Hey guys, happy Monday. I'm really excited to bring you this video today about tools. It's really cool because there is a science to how they work, and so it's not just like dabbling, and tarot cards aren't just like this. I mean, they're a really great tool, and a lot of people choose to stick with things like cards and things like that. I really like to do, just sometimes a card pull for the day, but I want to explain to you guys how the tools work and how maybe not to get dependent on them if you do decide to start using them. So the first thing I'm going to go over is the pendulum, and I have mine right here to show you. This is a pendulum. Okay, they're amazing because so every human body has a magnetic field of energy, right? So if you picture like the Earth's magnetic field, we also have one. And lots of things, what determines like our aura or our frequency is our average state of emotion or our point on the frequency and consciousness map. So like guilt and shame are the lower ones, and I've talked a lot about, hey Emily, I've talked a lot about emotions carrying frequency before. So like guilt and shame are the lowest ones, so it's important to release anything like traumatic that's happened to you and heal that, so it raises your overall frequency. But so as far as the pendulum goes, the pendulum is connected to like our subconscious mind, which controls like the direction of our energy, and it can rotate this way, it can rotate this way, and we kind of don't see it happening, but it's always moving. So generally what happens is it moves up through our feet, up like this, and then out. So if you can picture something like that. So the pendulum is controlled by our subconscious mind that controls our energy. So you can actually let me move this so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you can actually start it in a circle, and then you can say swing horizontal or vertical. I said vertical in my head, then I said horizontal, and then you can do vertical, and I'm actually not moving it with my fingers, but then I'm gonna go vertical, and it starts going vertical. So lots of times you can use it to say like, tell me yes, what means yes? And it'll start swinging in the direction of yes. Usually mine is this way, so that's what it's doing. And then you can say, tell me no, and it will go this way. So your subconscious mind kind of controls that, right? Because it controls like the direction of your energy around it. But the best part about a pendulum is that your subconscious mind is also connected to spirit and the energies of other, like in the other dimension spirit world, right? So like whenever have you ever gotten like a bad feeling about someone and you really want to hang out with them, and consciously you're saying, oh, love everyone, give everyone a chance, but your subconscious mind is like, no, this is bad, our energies don't match, but consciously you're like, I'm gonna give them a chance anyway, right? Like we've all kind of been there. And so our subconscious is connected to those influences. I did this to see how many children and the gender I have. Was it right, Emily? I did it too. My mom actually did it to me when I was pregnant with my oldest son, and it actually said all 4 of my kids and that the last one would be a girl. And I have 3 boys and a girl. So your subconscious is connected to all of those energies. And so the best thing about a pendulum is that even though it is your subconscious and your energy, your subconscious is connected to other things too, so it can kind of help guide you. I've heard that it can help you find like lost keys, and you can be like, is it in this room? Is it in this room? Like when I do intuitive development, I actually created tools to use alongside of the pendulum. Emily, it said you're gonna have more kids. So I actually created tools to use alongside the pendulum because there's ways to get started with spiritual development and intuitive development where you can use this with other tools that I've created, and then eventually ditch the tool in total, because I don't want people to become dependent on this, but it's a great way to start recognizing answers and feelings and then lose it. So that is pendulums. Cards, I don't do a lot with tarot cards personally, but I'm going to just explain them for you. Emily, but I did with my ring and a strand of hair. Next would be twin boys. Oh my goodness. I'm so grateful I didn't have twins. Yes, you can use, okay, that's a good point, Emily, that you brought up. You can use anything as a pendulum. It doesn't have to be a crystal on a string. When my mom did this for me about children, she used a wedding band on a necklace. You can literally use anything as a pendulum, because what you're just doing is dangling something in your energy. You don't have to go out and buy a pendulum. So cards, I don't do a lot of work with personally, but I can just explain to you how they work. So when you're shuffling them and putting them together, your subconscious mind is kind of collecting where the cards are. And then when you draw one, your subconscious is connecting in to spirit and to the cards, and it draws the card set that is most descriptive of whatever question you're answering. The reason that I know that this also works is because, oh goodness, I've had a friend do a card pull for the day, and then I've started messaging this friend and been like, why am I talking to you and seeing the magician card in my head right now? And she's like, oh my God, I pulled that card this morning. Emily, yes, tag me in the video. I would love that. So I know that the cards mean something because I've had spirit connect in with me and say, like, let her know this card is genuine. Let her know that it means more than just like a daily card pull. And then I've been like, you know, talking to people about the cards that they pull without them telling me. So I know for certain that cards are a good way to start. Lots of people really like cards and stick with cards. I am not judgmental over that. If card is your niche and you like it, like, go for it. Cards are not my niche. I personally keep oracle cards, which are a little different than tarot, and they're just more like for daily stuff. They're not for like full readings. Like tarot has a specific amount of cards with specific cards in them, and they're for specific readings. Yolanda said I love cards. Yeah, cards aren't my thing. The pendulum is definitely more my thing, and I like it a lot because I can kind of like add more to where I can take it, I guess. It's got like a broader spectrum of things that I like to use it for. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is selenite. I'm giving you guys my auto-tune secret. Okay, so I've talked to you guys a lot about matching energetic frequency to get guidance. And I just mentioned earlier in this video that emotions carry frequency, and that determines like our average point of where we are. Well, selenite is an amazing crystal. It looks like this, and it's got little grooves, and I have them in like literally all shapes and sizes. This is also selenite. I keep a lot of it around. It's not even expensive. Selenite is a crystal that auto cleans other crystals that it's around, and I like to hold it when I do spirit sessions because it auto tunes me to the frequency of what I'm trying to connect to. So when I'm struggling to meet a vibrational frequency of a spirit that's trying to connect in and the connection is not that good, if I pick up my selenite and I just like rub the grooves on it, it tends to help me make connection crystal clear somehow. And I actually just learned this by coincidence because when I do any spirit sessions, I have like all my crystals next to me and I just kind of go to where I'm guided. So can I use my necklace that I wear every day? Heather, yes, you can use your necklace as a pendulum to figure things out. The magic is in us, guys. These are just tools, and that's where I think people get confused, is that the magic is definitely in us, and the tools are just to help us like trick our subconscious into communicating with us consciously. You know what I mean? So, anyways, selenite auto cleans crystals that it's around, and it auto tunes the vibrational frequency when I'm struggling to make a connection with spirit. So different sizes I learned are better for different things, and that's why I have all of these different sizes. The small one works better when I'm trying to connect with lost loved ones, and the larger ones tend to work better when I'm trying to connect to spirit guides. So spirit guides and angels, when they have messages or when someone has a question for them and needs to pull something through, those are the ones that I go to for that. And so those are like the majority of the tools that I use. There's other tools that you can use. There's something called a dowsing rod, which is really similar to a pendulum. There's little like maps that you can use the pendulum or dowsing rod on to get letters and things like that. I choose to try to like skip over the letters part and just go to like basic questions and yes or no questions like, am I trying to communicate with a male or a female? Are you my relative? Are you for someone I know? And I use it that way because I don't want to get too caught up in getting letters and spelling out words. I want to get on my feet and ditch the tools altogether. So that's pretty much the gist of the tools that I have going for you. I definitely am excited and I want to know if you guys try any of these. Keep me posted. And don't forget, I have group intuitive development starting on Sunday, and the payments go as low as $45. So it's super affordable and I can get you guys on your feet in 4 weeks. It's not very time consuming and it's got a ton of really good information in it. So I hope you guys have a great week and I'll talk to you on Wednesday.